Hello.
Hello and welcome to Streambox. I am your host Chris Can. Thank you so much for joining us here this week, and thank you for joining us every week. If you have been, we are truly grateful. And if you are only stumbling across our channel in this quagmire of YouTube madness, then please do subscribe, hit that bell button, and if you do like what we're doing, maybe drop us a comment, because I'd really like to appreciate to hear what you think of what I'm offering and how the reviews are going. And if you like what I'm saying, or if you don't like what I'm saying, it's all good. Positive, negatives, anything there, they balance each other out. So just rock on into the comments and type something up. Even just hi. That will do. Just hi. So today we are talking about one of my favorite shows I have been watching over the last couple of years, and I have been sort of avoiding doing this, I suppose, review because I didn't know what way to approach it. I wasn't sure on what insight I felt I needed to deliver on it and how to offer it up to you, the audience. What might be best to attract you to it? Attract you to it, not attract you to the show Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is obviously a character that comes from the Star Wars universe. So Star Wars itself as a whole is an absolute monster. There is such a broad capacity to tell different stories in many, many ways. And I found that doing The Mandalorian was an absolute nail on the head. They did a great choice in choosing this, because we all enjoyed the old Boba Fett in the original Star Wars. We wanted to know a little bit more about him, and Boba Fett was the first time we ran into a Mandalorian. He's the first person we see who is a Mandalorian, and we don't actually understand what Mandalorians are in the original Star Wars. We're not given a lot of information about them, but over time we sort of develop on them. Now, Boba Fett is not really a Mandalorian. He is a clone. So, well, actually, his son is a clone of him, everyone is cloned of, who are, oh god, it gets a little bit confusing when it comes to Boba Fett. But let's forget about that. He is wearing a Mandalorian outfit, and that's where it originates from. He is an original Mandalorian. The original Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Boba Fett? Boba Fett? Where?
What are Mandalorians? Well, Mandalorians are hired gunmen. So they're really like cowboys of space. That's the honest answer. The Mandalorian is a cowboy of space.
I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
Pew, pew, pew. Yes, they do have guns and they wear helmets or a cowboy hat, which never comes off. You never see a cowboy without his hat, do you? Or his sidearm. No, so they are the cowboys of space. So they brought us the Mandalorian TV show starring Pedro Pascal, who does an absolute cracking job of playing somebody underneath a helmet. We never see his face. Well, actually, that's a lie. We do see his face, and it's only for an odd time. And they do a really nice job of it, because a Mandalorian's not supposed to take off his helmet. Otherwise, he's not a Mandalorian anymore. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Saying all that, he is a Mandalorian that is on a journey doing his own sort of jobs, and he's trying to build up some credits, and just he is given this job to deliver a package, as Mandalorians do. They are hired gunmen, as I was saying, and he is on a job to deliver this package. Now, this package just happens to be a little Yoda. That's right, a baby Yoda, and everything changes from that moment.
Aw, so cute.
He's the honest gunman. He's the honest hired gunman that we see in westerns comes into town and he's on a job or he's just passing through, but he can't resist helping people in need. He just has something inside him that wants him to do that. And as we grow through the story of The Mandalorian, we understand actually that's what Mandalorians really are. Their basis is to be hired guns, but with an honest work ethic, if that's the right or work ethic, or an honest approach to life.
This is the way.
They have a set of rules and they tend to stick to them, and by having rules they are put themselves into a box, but this box is definitely more of a ethical side of life. They don't really just go around killing anybody for any money, which is what Boba Fett did, because he is an outsider of the Mandalorians. He has broken the code, so he's left the main Mandalorian community, as they say. So with all that, Mando, who is played by Pedro Pascal, goes on this new journey, and he wants to save Baby Yoda, and he wants to bring him back to his people, who are actually the Jedi. He is a Jedi. Yes, he was in Jedi school, and he gets lost and he gets stolen, and obviously we have the Republic, who are trying to get their hands on him. Sorry, not the Republic, apologies. The Republic want to save him. The Empire want to get their hands on the Baby Yoda, obviously to turn him to the dark side, because that's what they love to do to all Jedis, bring them to the dark side.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
With all that in mind, this really is a TV show about cowboys in space. Well, one cowboy. Mando.
Jacta Gratu!
He's a cowboy. He walks like a cowboy. He talks like a cowboy. He has a horse, which is not a horse, it's a spaceship. But he is really just a cowboy. And he's on this journey. It's very, very much shot like a Western. It makes you feel like you're on a Western. Sometimes you forget that it's actually in space, because they are on different islands, and every sort of planet, different planet they go to has this emphasis that we are in the wild, wild west. And obviously space is such a wild, wild west. It can't all be sort of looked after by a sheriff, because it's such a broad, broad horizon. There's so many planets and so many different people and so many different races and ways of doing certain things, and everything clashes or comes together, amalgamates into a different sort of way of living. So it's such a broad sort of basis on the wild, wild west of America, and how there were so many different people that came together to live in one place, space, and they all sort of have their own way of doing things. And the Mandalorian is the cowboy that drifts between people doing jobs for payment and just doing his thing. But all underneath all that, it has the heart of Mando, who is a good man who just wants to see this child. And through this trying to bring this child back, he grows a massive connection with him. Soul bonding. And he doesn't want to give him up. But through all that, there is 3 seasons, and they have the new season out at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. And I do highly recommend it. If you like old school westerns and you like space adventures, then this is definitely for you, because it's amalgamated into one. It's a space cowboy. Space cowboy. And if you haven't seen Spaceballs, which is basically Space Cowboys as well, that's a great film. It's a classic. I might actually review Spaceballs. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic. I'll find what streaming platform it's on, and if not, we can just find it free or rent it somewhere, I'm sure, online, because streaming is an absolute universe of space. Internets. Spatial internet space with TV and shows and movies. Anyway, back to Mandalorian. It's a 5 out of 5. Is it a 5 out of 5? Yes, it is. 5 out of 5 PBs for me. Watch Mandalorian. It's well worth it. It's got great actors. It's got super storyline. And it's Star Wars. That's all I really have to say on that. Mandalorian. Streambox.
Streambox,
Thanks.
Streambox, the place where all your streams can come through. Oh, yes, it's through Streambox we review, but we do it all for you. Streambox, fix you